Right, so we're live.
We are live?
We're not,
Yes.
I don't know.
We're live.
We'll
Welcome,
see if this is live.
We have a very special interview and guests and interview today.
Right.
Dana, it's your last day.
This is it. Man, 2 o'clock, I'm out of here.
2 o'clock.
37 years.
37 years.
Yeah.
37 years. Who was the principal when you were here first?
Jack Bisco hired me.
Jack Bisco.
Yep.
Awesome.
And how many principals you've gone through? Bisco.
Gus, Nelson,
Yep.
Yeah.
Dave,
Dave
All
Wayne?
right, Dave
Yeah.
Wayne. Yeah.
well, Jeff Sturt, well, he was assistant, and
Yeah.
Patrick,
Yep.
and Evan.
Evan, there you go. And we also have Pat here. It's going to share some information about Dana.
Right?
How long have you guys worked together?
We've been eating lunch together since my first day here in the fall of 1988.
Fall of 88. I believe that was also my first day here, Pat. I think it was. I think fall of 88 is when I started
No
here.
kidding.
Yeah, I think we came in together.
Huh.
What does Dana eat for lunch every day?
Oh, well, he goes in phases. He goes in phases.
Like healthy phases
There
and
was a-
unhealthy phases?
Well, there
Or-
was, there was a while he was doing tuna.
Yeah.
Then there was a while he was doing, you never did Italians because you got sick of Italians as a child.
Yeah.
From the
Too many
store.
onions.
Yeah.
So you never did Italians.
Yeah. Spam.
Yeah, yeah.
Spam.
Yeah.
But for the longest time, you just ate whatever the cafeteria was getting.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, what are you going to do for lunch?
I know.
What's your lunch
I
going to
know.
be?
Are
after
you gonna
break?
stop by the cafe here for lunch?
Well, I
At noon?
have
Take a ride over?
Yeah, a little tight right now. It's, yeah. No, we'll probably make sandwiches at home. She retired last year, so.
Nice.
Well, yeah, Pat will still come down. Everybody's eating in the cafeteria now.
Yeah, I asked him
Randy-
if I was gonna be still welcome.
Now, Dana, I want to ask you a question. So I know Bo, when he retired, said he's going to work on getting more books published. Do you have, what's your plan?
Well, fishing actually. Gonna do a little bit of that. Chad bought a bass boat, Nate's got a boat, and they both said we can go out anytime.
That's
So
awesome.
that's then, of course, right now, I'm just gonna read. Do some reading, but, yeah.
There you go.
Nice.
So are you gonna read all of those Louis L'Amour books all over again?
Interesting, Neil Rio just gave me a gift of 3 huge Louis L'Amour, cause I'm a Louis
Okay.
L'Amour, I
Yeah.
like that.
Yep.
And so I've got reading right off.
Nice, there you
There
go.
you go. You better submit your stuff to Judith for the reading challenge. You could probably beat Davis.
Yeah, I haven't actually, I have a lot of books I'm ready to read. I'm just getting ready to get started.
So, have you been in this building the whole time, or did you work in some of the other buildings along the way? I believe you used to work in TES for a while, right?
I worked 3 years at TES. I had left, and Joe Pease hired me back. And 3 years down there, and the other 34 were up here. I started third shift, because we all remember Jack Jordan.
Oh yeah.
And I went third shift, second shift, and when Jack retired, I took the day job.
Took the day job. So you were Jack's replacement,
Yes.
and now Phil is going to be your replacement.
Big Phil is going to be my
Big
replacement.
Phil. So that's
This
quite a
is something
span,
we wanna
right?
hit on.
I mean, how far does Jack Jordan go back as like the head custodian at 11? Like Jack's got to go back to.
Jack took the day job from Bob Mitchell.
That must have been back in the 70s, right?
Yep.
Early
Bob-
70s, probably.
Bob come up here in the 60s.
Go ahead.
Yes.
Can I phone call for you?
Right.
Are you going to miss that?
I don't know that.
Right.
No, you're walking dog, you just
No.
jumping in? Wait, alright, so I got a question about Big Phil.
Yes.
He's taking out, you've been showing him the ropes?
Yeah, we've been working through a lot of stuff. Yeah, and he's pretty good. You know, he's got a degree in HVAC, so
There you go.
that'll help.
What do you have for I'm sure you must deal with a lot of problems though that you could never predict. Like things that happen that you can't really be trained for,
Right.
you have to just,
Yeah, heat's a big one. You
Well,
know, the
We've had a few water issues here over the years,
We've
right?
had some water issues. Yeah, the gym is flooded. Mike Lance called me one night and said that we had 2 inches of water on our brand new
Wood floor.
hardwood floor.
We just got it.
Yeah,
Remember that?
yeah.
what advice do you give Big Phil then? Like he could come in, anything could happen, what do you tell him?
Be very flexible.
Very
be very flexible, be ready to go. Some days will be quick and others will be slow, but,
Do you like those calls? You got some good calls in the night?
oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we've had a few. Sometimes people come back in and set the alarms off and take off.
I don't know who you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about at all.
There's a couple of state games that were late. Evan and I was
Right.
here 2:00 in the morning.
Well, the other time I set the alarm and the custodian was still in here and I didn't know, so that was a good one too.
Yeah, we did that with Mike Lance. He was still upstairs, set the alarm. He went all through the building, yeah.
What's the biggest custodial nightmare? What's the thing that you, like, of all the things that have happened over the course of the year, like, what was the absolute worst?
Oh, well, that gym floor was bad, but when all the ceiling tile was falling out of the cafeteria, which is now the small gym,
Right?
and you didn't know which ceiling tile was gonna fall out, so we were all here all night with that.
Yeah.
So that was a mess.
I'm surprised you didn't go with something with like goldfish or goats or something.
Well,
Something like that. I'll just mention it now. Is it true that you're a goat whisperer? Because I think you and I have some experience hunting some goats.
you and I and Wendy Harvey,
Right?
Wendy Harvey, yes, some goats had come up missing, and yeah, we had a little ride out on the old nature trail.
Yes, we did. Yes, we
Yeah.
did. Somebody asked me the other day, like, what's your best Dana story? And I'm like, I've got some good ones, but you know, one that's a little unique is that Dana and I got called down to the office and asked to go look for goats on the cross-country trail one day. And we both got paid for it. So
Yes,
it was good.
it was a nice ride.
The other
I
one
hadn't been out
that
there.
the other one that rivals it pretty closely is when we had to pick up that, I don't know if it was a raccoon or a porcupine out in the parking lot. You remember that?
Yeah, the raccoon that the kid had brought in and
Yeah.
Oh.
thrown it out on the.
I know, that was pretty gross too. I thought you'd go with one of those, but
That was gross. The goldfish was interesting for people who like goldfish and don't care. There's a senior prank. They put them in the teachers' bathrooms. You know, some people are good with flushing and others aren't. I thought that was a pretty good prank.
it's another good life lesson, right? Like some people are good at flushing, some are not. What is the biggest difference between the old building and the new building? Like what significantly changed when we switched buildings? Because this building, we had 2000, right? It's a new building. So you were here, you were a big part of that. Tell us a little bit about that transition.
Well, obviously room, but I'd have to say heat, because if you remember right, the heat was electric heat coming from the ceiling, and it was cold.
Right.
It was cold most of the time, and when it rained, it leaked. Jack Jordan had made little trenches all through the ceilings, pouring into your sinks. So the electrical was interesting. We never knew, you know, if some rooms were gonna light up that day or not. But
Right. And then Pat, I wanted to ask you, you know, obviously Dana's been here a long time. He's I would call him an icon around here, right?
Yeah,
He's an
absolutely.
icon. What makes him so iconic? What do people love so much about Dana as the custodian here over all these years? Praise him up a little bit. Tell us what's so good about
I
him.
can totally praise him up. The other day, there was an article with a custodian on the news, and about how much he was appreciated by just how he fit into the whole school and what he did. And that's how I remember Dana. I remember Dana after school, working the extra hours after school for the games, and him having fun with the kids. After the school was done, he always had a hand to help the kids.
Yep.
If somebody needed to get into the game, didn't have a buck, Dana would pull out the buck, or, you know.
Yeah.
Or if they wanted to run to the store and have something to eat, I remember him doing that.
Yep.
He was always there for the kids. Those were good days, weren't they, Dana?
They were great.
Those were good times.
Right.
Davis, you got anything else?
No, but actually, when you said that, I feel like I can remember in high school you doing that for people. Like I kind of forgot about that until you said that, Pat, but I can remember that happening.
I remember that.
I think what I remember most from like when I was in high school here is that like the kids who were a couple of classes ahead of me were a little crazy.
Oh.
Like, we've talked about some of those, you know, the Travis Wells, Chris Angelo, Chris
I almost
Allen,
mentioned
Gary
Chris.
Bedford, like
I almost mentioned
Matt
it.
Twitchell, Rick Angel, like that kind of era. Like that was a pretty
They were
pretty
rough.
wild group of guys,
They were
and
rough,
They were fun.
they were fun. But Dana could always keep a little bit of a lid on them. Like you had a great relationship with those guys, and I think if it wasn't for you, then
Yeah.
You know, Doug might not have had some of those guys all the time on the football field.
No, Angelo Wells, oh my God, the Darren Duo, those two, holy moly.
If you think back all the time, like the student that you would just like, you know, not that you didn't like or whatever, but just like you would
The
worry
hardest.
like, oh, like this, he's gonna do
Biggest
something
nightmare.
You
terrible.
better be
Like,
careful, this goes on Facebook.
Yeah, I know.
who's the one you would have been the most worried about back then?
Jesus, and Travis has done so well. Love him to death, see him every once in a while, so, yeah, great guy, great.
Great guy.
Yeah.
All right. You got it. You got it?
No, I think we should jump to the, let's get to the.
We're gonna go to the gotta choose. All right, gotta choose. So this is a game that we play on the show called Gotta Choose, and there's only one rule: you have to choose one of the choices. That's it. You gotta choose. All right. Better lunch in the calf: pizza sticks or chicken sandwich?
Pizza sticks.
Pizza sticks.
That
That
I
one
always
wins
ask
every
that
time.
question, but I
I
don't know
know.
who would not choose
I
pizza
know.
sticks.
I
Pizza
try to put
sticks.
different things up against it.
Nothing beats pizza sticks.
No, nothing does. What do you got?
I don't eat.
Yeah, I don't eat calf. There you go. All right. Yeah, these questions aren't really designed for you, but if you know any of them, feel free to.
You can jump in.
So go in here. Push a broom or swing them up?
Push a broom,
Push a broom.
Push it, bro. Because
because I can keep right on going.
just keep going right by.
Right. You've if it would be cool if you had a step counter going back 37 years for how many steps you've taken with that broom in these hallways.
Oh my God, many, yes.
If you put an over under of like 1 million, it's probably still the over, right?
I would say so, yeah.
Wait, I have a question for you that's not on there. Best time of year to be a custodian. So like summer, best season. You got summer with nobody here, fall,
good
winter,
question.
spring. Best and worst. What do you got?
Yeah, summer is good, you know, the cleanup and all of that. Worst would be winter.
Because of the shoveling and
So shoveling the salt, you know.
A lot of tracking in
the
of
dirt coming in on
right?
kids.
Salt, dirt.
When you just
yeah.
see kids come in with those boots, just like grinding it out.
No, I left a huge trail right down the hallway by Graysville the other day. Sorry, man.
Speaking of
I wore my boots.
speaking of winter and all the dirt, I remember there were days he was swearing at those people sanding every day
awesome.
sanding.
It's awesome.
Every day.
I believe what you're saying, Pat, is occasionally we may have used too much sand around here. Is that true, Dana?
Yeah, that's, yeah.
And you swept that sand.
Oh, yeah.
That's hilarious.
Put it right back in the truck and use it again.
Oh man, that's great on so many levels. All right, next one. This one's specific to you, and really you and I are only on the inside joke on this one, but I think you're gonna like it. Who's got a better jump shot, Bo Hood or Ed Giroux?
Oh, my brother by far.
Bo.
Yeah, Bo. Yeah.
He can make more buckets than Eddie.
Yes, yeah. I don't know about a jump shot. I'm thinking set shot.
It's more of a set shot, yeah, because you gotta
Yeah,
go back to the
yeah,
70s,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Gadley
So
would
what
have
about the
such a-
jump shot?
The jump shot would have to be Ed.
Would have to be Eddie.
It would have to be Ed.
Are you a better shooter than either one of those guys? Or were you more like
Or
a
better
dirty,
player.
dirty work guy, like under the boards,
I
giving
was-
some
I was-
elbows?
I was
You were
the
kind of that
dirt-
guy, right?
Yeah, I was that guy, yeah. I rebounds, that sort of thing.
And the coach when you played here was Fred West? Is that
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah, Wisnowski.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wisnowski, one of the great science teachers ever in this building.
Oh, yeah.
This room.
Yes, better building, the old building or the new building?
New building for everything that it provides, preferred the old building. I'm a small building.
There you
kind
go,
of guy.
the rectangle.
Well, yeah, what did you like about the old building?
The closeness, I guess. I think everybody, it seemed closer. I think we got spread out a little here. I might be wrong.
That's
Yeah.
exactly
But I-
right.
No, you're right. Like this room to like Chappelle's room is like,
Yeah,
they're different worlds.
yeah, yeah. All right, next one. Listen, I'll tell you that I had another one on here that Davis made me take off. So you're lucky. So whatever I'm giving you is second tier. It's not like the first tier stuff that I wanted to go with, that censorship got me on. But I'll go with, I don't know how to phrase it, but in terms of principles, Gus LeBlanc or Patty Hartnett?
Patrick.
All right.
Yeah, Patrick.
And moving on to the last question. You saw a lot of both of these guys. Your kids were playing around the time. Obviously, both like icons in the Levitt football world. But I'm going to put you on the spot. Better running back, Jimmy Ray or Jeff Doobie?
Jimmy Ray.
Jimmy
Jimmy
Ray.
Ray.
I love Jeff, but Jimmy was, he could go through a wall.
He had that Roger Craig, like high knees type of style to him too. Like he was.
He also had like star persona. Like the way he just acted before a game, like he
Yeah.
seemed
no,
like
I mean,
he's
he
big
was-
time.
Yep.
He was tough. He was very tough.
He could carry the rock for sure.
Yeah, he did. Yep.
Well,
All right,
Dana,
you guys did well.
this has been great, and now I think it's time for Dana to take his last ride.
last
Oh,
ride.
Power, are you gonna say something?
No,
No? I think we're ready for
All
that.
All right, thank you, man. Appreciate
you.
it.
I don't-
Thank you
Appreciate
very
all the
much.
years.
Yeah, thank you. We've had a good time.